What's going on, YouTube? Hey, Aaron here. Yep, we're back in a destroyer. I've actually done a video in this ship already, but I wasn't quite as popular as I am now. I'm not even popular at the moment, but I'm getting some views up there, so more people are seeing the content. Good call-outs. I like that. This map is very difficult to play at this tier. Should be a tier 4 and 5. It's actually, yeah, well, there's 1 4. But yes, so we're going to be going over your job as a destroyer, part 2. This is a little more advanced tactics. I did a part 1, which was the basics, which is just spotting and getting caps for your team. Now, this is a little tricky cap, because if you go in, you're committed, so we're just going to hang on the edge here. And, you know, drop torpedoes and see what the enemy gives us. You never want to make decisions gung-ho in the opening minutes unless you know, your team has already called out that plan. For example, you have 2 or 3 mates in your division, and you're like, all right, we're gonna rush A hard, and that's gonna be it. Okay, all right. Now, because we didn't rush in there, we have full health, and we actually took some cheeky little shots at the Mahan and the Emerald. Now, they're going to probably guess that we're going to come this way, but we have Twist and Track and Hydro to our advantage. I didn't pop the Hydro there because the torp angle, unlikely that we would have gotten torped from that direction. But we can see, okay, he's actually peeling away. Nice. Now, we do need to be careful if the Mahan is any sort of intelligent, not any sort of intelligent. If he's an above-average player, he could have dropped torps on us going around here, but the American torps are very slow and very easy to dodge. Now, something the Emerald probably doesn't know is his detectability in smoke, and if we get one other ship to help us, we're going to wait and hopefully we get a dev strike on this Emerald in his smoke, or at least a couple torpedo hits. He was pretty low, so might not be a dev strike. No, he moved. Okay. We got the Mahan. Oh shit. Popping our Hydro, we're seeing if torps are incoming, backing up, drawing our smoke away. Yeah, he torped where we thought we were going to go forward. He's going to spin around and try and get his other torpedoes off, because that's what players at this tier do. They think they have to get torpedoes off instead of getting their guns involved. Now he's maintaining an outward course, but we got him on Hydro. And again, these might be some more complex tactics. We're going to be going over them at the end. Smoke ran out. We're going to continue to stay in our smoke. He is spotted because of our Hydro. You need to know the Hydro range of your destroyer. We're going to go out and spot him. He should be detected. We will be detected as well, but we have a huge health advantage. And in the meantime, we're going to go back forward. Yep. There you go. Here we get the double. Ah, shit. Hydro is a huge advantage at this tier. This is an excellent destroyer to buy, or to, that if you get out of a crate, to play for ranked. Very good fast-firing guns. They are the 128s, not the 150s or the other caliber guns. Very good torpedoes, pretty decent reload. I think 7.9. Yeah, 8 kilometer range. It might be 7.9. This is not an ideal angle to drop on him, but we're gonna go ahead and drop. I'm not staggering him there. Usually I like to drop here and like here, but he's sitting still in the spawn. He could be AFK. He could be doing dishes. Timmy! Little Timmy, come do the dishes! But yeah, notice how we did not go into the cap right away because of the strong enemy presence. That is a silly thing to do. Get an advantage, see where the enemy is. If they don't go in it right away, back into the cap. And then, if they do come in, you can sail away at full speed. It's much more efficient to sail away at full speed you know, going forward than it is to get out of there in reverse. Do we even get one? Yeah, one. Okay, and that's because we even crossed him over. It's never the most effective to torp like that. Yeah, he's AFK. Not gonna worry about him at the moment. RPF shifted, so there is a closer ship. Could be the Bayern or the Mahan could be in front of him. Be careful with RPF. RPF may trick you. But now we do have map control and cap control, and now we're spotting all of these cruisers for our battleships, who are relatively protected in the back here now. But we do need them to start shooting. Again, we could get the easy kill on this guy in the cap here. Okay, now the Mahan is the closest ship. There's a lot of dev strikes this game. We're going at him at an angle. We're not going flat broadside if he drops torps deep. You know, torps don't have the... Okay, now we're going to do the staggered torps. One a little ahead in case he's not going full speed by some chance. And we're also going to turn out just to avoid detection, because if he just sees us, if he sees us, we will... he will adjust his course if he hasn't already. Yeah, he did. But that's why you stagger the torps and the chance that you... Okay. Maybe a little premature to shoot there. I'm saying multiple different things. You notice we're shooting AP. That's because we have the broadside of these tier 5 cruisers. You can almost always shoot AP at broadside cruisers and almost any destroyer. 2,500 a salvo is a decent chunk of damage. Especially with, what, 4-second reload? We'll go over the stats at the end of the video. It looks like 3. So we're also defending the cap. We just got smacked. Okay, he smoked up his buddy, which is not a bad play, but we should have torpedoes back and try and go undetected. Go full stop to avoid any shots. Go undetected. Come on. Okay, thank you. Now we're leading him because it looks like he's turning. And again, guys, we're not being super hyper aggressive. You know, I advocate being aggressive, but not in the wrong ways. And we're not wasting our smoke or hydro just yet. We're using it to its maximum effectiveness. Missed the torpedoes, but that's okay. We've still got some torpedo hits. And we're being effective with our guns. Something you need to keep in mind is your detectability. So if you know if you're detected, there's a destroyer in it. Some destroyers have better detectability than others, and you may be detected inside a destroyer's detectability. Okay, so they're not too close. They're probably sitting in the smoke, and which is probably a decent strategy that's worked for him thus far. But he doesn't know that we have hydro. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we're detected. Dispersion doing me no favors there. Yeah, sitting in your smoke is a good strategy, but not when I have hydro. Yep. Good work. It's like a ringing in my ears. Yep, and guys, this guy still AFK. We did not waste our time lining up another salvo of torpedoes or shooting our guns to be detected. That's just something that I've seen multiple times is players being AFK and people spending a majority of their time wasting shots and torpedoes and stuff. We just saw him and moved along. He was not really a threat to us. And we, you know, I think we handled it rather well. Yeah. I don't mind players calling stuff like that, but obviously we're going to protect the gap there. Now we can go ahead and smoke up. We have some spots for the time being. It's always a good idea to spread your smoke out just a bit. You go 1/4 speed, your smoke should follow you, and you will be undetected, and it will not be the last known position that you are in. We also smoke because we're in the cap. We don't want to be reset. We're not in danger of losing this game at all, but you know, I play to win. So I most of the time we might lose spot here. I don't fool around or make silly decisions unless it's like 7 on 9 or 7 on 1 or something like that. 7 on 9. Now that he's undetected, we're going to maybe wait just a second here. We see if we can get some blind fires. RPF and watch your shells if they land. Like, you can see where they hit. Yeah, we hit him. He's right there. Your accuracy is going to go down, but who gives a shit about accuracy? My accuracy is like 41%, and I fucking shoot the shit out of everything. We're missing blind fires now, so we're going to go and get some spots. That is your job as a destroyer. There we go. Is he back yet? Nope. We could shoot and reset him, but our team has been waiting to shoot. They got the guns on target. Should be a reset of the cap. Yep. Very good. Line up the torpedoes. Is he going to run? Yep. You might be tempted to shoot here, and shooting here is not really necessarily a mistake. But if you do shoot, I would wait until their next shot. So that way it's 30 seconds. You could get a cheeky little blind fire. He's also turning. We're going to be out-turning his guns at this tier. Germans have very average or slow turret traverse regardless. Okay, they got the reset. Okay, let's go ahead and shoot. He shot, so he's got a minimum of, well, not a minimum, but an average time of 30 seconds. 25 to 30 seconds. Perfect RNG there. And if this is a boring game to you, that's fine. You might consider yourself an advanced player. But this is an average game, and I told a buddy, shout out Kay, that I'd post some average games because, you know, I've been posting a lot of really good games because I think, you know, people are off for the holidays and, you know, everyone's, you know, not your average bear is playing right now. Some people that might not. Oh, that's gotta love that RNG. I'm sorry. Triple fired from a destroyer. And now we can move in for the final kill, which is the person AFK. Yes, you can make the argument if we killed this person, the game would be over already. But again, we did not waste our time. We went to support our team, get the capture points, and outplay the enemy. Looking for these advanced tips, we're going to go ahead and shoot, because why not? Maybe get a Confederate. I don't think I damaged enough ships, though, or enough percentage of enough ships. Gotta give credit to the enemy or our friendly blueberries on the opposite side. They played well to hold that flank. Usually that flank on this side, on this spawn, or this team side, goes down rather quickly. Didn't get it off. GG. But let's go over those basics, and you can go back in the video and see some of the things that I'm talking about here. But knowing your ship and knowing enemy ships is a key. That Mahan had no idea we had Hydro, or he just didn't know what was going on. Wow, 3100 XP. Excellent video for that. Yeah, that enemy Byron played well. 4 kills, devastating strike, 1800 on the losing team. Like I said, our 2 battleships played well as well. That's a good XP total for the friendlies on the winning team. That's a good team effort. If we didn't have them, maybe, you know, we're in a tougher spot. But that's why I say, you know, you don't sacrifice your ship in the middle of the game. That middle of the game lull is where a lot of games are won or lost. You think that your team has a good advantage, and let's say those 2 battleships go down. It's just me versus whatever ship's on that side. And if I YOLO or you know, get a little more aggressive than I need to be, for example, like rushing those 2 ships, but I had a smoke screen ready and waiting, plus my Hydro running, so I would not have been detected. Now, that was a Budiani, so I believe he has a Hydro as well, so we could have been detected, but I believe the range on his is, yeah, 4 kilometers. We were beyond that, so we were good in that category. But let's go over the basics of the ship. Now, something that is day 1 is detection. So you need to know the detection of your ship, which is 5.2, I believe on ours. 5.3. I think it said 5.2 on the screen there. But it says it on the top of the screen. That's something they added to the update. Also, the stats of your ships are in the pause menu. Oh shit! No. Okay. So if you just press start, it'll show you all the stats of your ships, the range of your guns, the range of your torpedoes, etc. Knowing those and knowing the average of other ships is a great thing to have. It just kind of in store if you're trying to be competitive for this game. It's still just a good thing to know. Like the analogy I like to use is you wouldn't go to your simple YMCA or pick up football, soccer field and ask to play and then start kicking the ball out of bounds and expecting people not to get mad at you. The same goes for this game. It's in standard anyway, and especially for ranked. Now, I take this approach to standard as well because a little more competitive than maybe most. But playing with just taking your ship out to battle with no plan or no concept of the game is very frustrating to others who are trying to play the game that way. And again, somebody said on Facebook a while ago, and I just didn't pay any attention to it. But I remember the comment. It was like, "Well, you don't pay my bills. What do you something like that?" And I was like, "Well, of course I don't pay your fucking bills. Like, what does that have to do with anything? You're on my team. I want us to win. Don't sail around like a clown, and throw the game for us." Now, again, that being said, maintain a positive attitude. If you're watching this video and trying to learn from this, you be the difference. You be the one that can take the game and turn it around and carry the team. This game is usually about 3 or 4 players on each team that know what they're doing, and then the rest are just kind of sailing around trying to get devastating strikes. There's nothing wrong with that, but a lot of times, if competent players are on the other team, you're not going to do well with that strategy. Just playing the same thing you've always done. You need to be adaptive and adapt to the game. But yeah, those are the basics. And let me just go over the next level. So hydro is something you need to know. Hydro, acoustic, or sonar detects torpedoes. It says on detection of torpedoes 2.8, so that it gives you an advanced warning if torpedoes are coming, like we saw from the Mahan there, as well as the detection of ships, regardless of their cover or smoke. So those Mahan and Budyani were sitting in the smoke screen there, but we had the hydro running, and despite their concealment in smoke, we detected them. And they were completely they were both sitting there, and we murdered both of them. Well, we murdered the Mahan and then the Budyani later on. But between that, getting the caps and spotting for your team, like at the end of the game, towards the end of the game there, was it Queen Elizabeth? Bayern went undetected. And we took a few blind shots just to get the reset while maintaining health. And in the safety of our smoke screen, we went out, and our battleships executed perfectly. As soon as they went out, with about half the time left on the cap, they reset the cap. These are the things that you're going to have to know in order to win in ranked, or even in standard. I don't know. I might be more competitive than most, and it probably leads to a little more frustration than than needs to happen. Sometimes I just need to say fuck it and let it go. But that's the way I am. I'm competitive in everything I do. When I put my name on something, I want it to be my best effort most of the time. Some nights, I'm just sailing, drinking with the boys, and I fuck around. But even then, I still don't just sail broadside the entire. You know what I mean? It's knowing the game. But here's the build we're running. Sims for the health pool. You guys, when someone told me this first, I was like, Sims? And this is more for my Z build. But the increased health in a gunboat will actually help you later on in the game. If you get into a knife fight with another destroyer, a knife, close engagement like we were with the Mahan, and you don't maybe have your smoke or whatever, we have that extra HP, as well as reload time for the guns with Mordov, because the guns on most German ships are very good. Germans are very good in ranked with the hydro ability and their survivability in guns. Torpedoes are average, but even a couple torpedo hits with floods are effective. Also, torpedoes mainly used for zoning. You send torpedoes down that way, a ship probably isn't going to just barrel down that way unless you get spotted in a very close proximity. Even then, people see torpedoes and they go, "Oh, destroyer!" and they just panic. It's in their mind. Torpedoes are deadly. We all sail into a wall of skill, and been deleted. But here's what I'm running. I probably actually should be running this, but it does increase rudder shift time. I might switch that. But here, concealments, I don't like adding detectability, so that's why I'm not running this. This is an option. Definitely an option. So play with the builds. We're running twist and track. I think you should have twist and track. It just shows you where the nearest ship is. It's very helpful. Very helpful. And then smokescreen, you could switch these. But yeah, this is the build I run, and again, I don't know if I went over the stats. These are the stats. Just pause the screen if you really want to see them. Excellent tier 5 destroyer. Very good concealment, and just an overall good boat. Very maneuverable, fast-firing guns, good torpedoes. It's an excellent choice for ranked, and also there's a good destroyer, advanced destroyer strategy. You know, don't sail into the cap right away if the enemy presence is there. Turn around, back into it, or do a little J-hook, but that cap is a little difficult because of its position. You know, now, if nobody's there, then we back into it, we get it for free. Watch out for torpedoes and channels, though, tight channels, and typical spots that you might be in a cap, though. A very good strategy is also to pre-torp positions where I know destroyers might sit. You just have to be aware that make your ship skinny. You know, don't sail broadside. I hope that helped. It's very difficult to make these tips and tricks while playing. It's just very difficult on the brain. This is recorded live, so yeah. And I've talked for long enough. That's the video. If you guys have any questions, ask me down below. I'm pretty good replying to most comments. But yeah, I appreciate the viewership. We just hit like 800, 870 something today. I don't know. It's the first, so Happy New Year. I doubt this video will be up, and it'll probably be the 3rd, 4th, or 5th. But yep, thanks for watching the video, guys. Appreciate it. Love you guys. I'm out. Peace.